The forest was my sanctuary, a quiet haven where my small cabin stood as a testament to years of saving and dreaming. I'd spent countless weekends fixing the roof, planting wildflowers, and carving my name into the oak doorframe. Lila Monroe. But that piece shattered the day Karen Whitmore stormed in, her designer heels sinking into the mud, her voice shrill as she waved a forged document claiming my land was hers. "This is my property now," she screeched, eyes gleaming with entitlement. She called the police, accusing me of squatting, her lies so bold they left me speechless. The officers arrived, radios crackling, ready to evict me based on her word alone. My heart sank as I watched them approach, Karen smirking like she'd already won. I wasn't going to let her steal my home without a fight. I pulled out my deed, the one my grandfather had passed down, stamped and notarized. "This is my land," I said, voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. The officers hesitated, glancing between my paperwork and Karen's flimsy printout. Her story unraveled fast. She claimed she'd bought the land at an auction, but the dates didn't match, and her deed was riddled with typos. I'd done my research long ago, knowing every inch of this property was legally mine. Karen's face twisted in fury as the officers questioned her, her polished facade cracking. But the real twist came when a ranger named Tom, who'd been quietly patrolling nearby, stepped forward. He'd seen Karen earlier that day, sneaking onto my property with a can of red paint and a crowbar, vandalizing my cabin to stage her squatter story. Tom had recorded it all on his phone, his footage clear as day. Karen smashing windows, tossing my furniture, and laughing as she defaced my home. The confrontation erupted like wildfire. Karen's smug grin vanished as Tom played the video for the officers. The footage showed her in her fur coat, hurling insults about filthy squatters while she trashed my cabin, her voice dripping with disdain. The officers' faces hardened. One grabbed his radio to call for backup. "You're under arrest for vandalism and filing a false emergency call," he said, cuffing her wrists as she shrieked. "Do you know who I am?" I stood there, heart pounding, as the reality hit. Karen had orchestrated this entire scheme to seize my land, banking on her wealth and connections to bully me out. But Tom's video was undeniable proof, and the officers weren't buying her crocodile tears. The crowd that had gathered neighbors who'd heard the commotion murmured in shock, some recording the scene themselves. Karen's lies had built a house of cards, and it was collapsing fast. Karen's downfall was as swift as it was poetic. In court, the judge didn't hold back. The video evidence, combined with her forged documents, painted a clear picture of her malice. She targeted my cabin because she wanted to flip the land for a luxury condo development, a plan she'd bragged about to her real estate cronies. The judge sentenced her to 6 months in jail for the false emergency call, plus restitution for the damage to my cabin, thousands of dollars she'd have to pay out of her own pocket. Her reputation, once propped up by her wealth and socialite status, crumbled. Local news ran the story, dubbing her Condo Karen, and her high society friends distanced themselves overnight. I watched her leave the courtroom, head bowed, no longer the untouchable queen she'd pretended to be. My cabin, though battered, still stood, and I spent weeks repairing it, each hammer swing feeling like a reclaiming of my peace. Standing on my porch now, with the wildflowers blooming again, I feel a quiet triumph. Karen's greed and lies couldn't take what was mine, and her downfall reminds us all that justice, though slow, can be fierce. I think of Tom, the ranger who turned the tide with his quick thinking, and the neighbors who rallied to support me. Truth has a way of rising, no matter how loud the lies. What do you think? Where do we draw the line between standing up for what's right and letting vengeance take over? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them.